He inherited a kingdom on his second birthday, got deposed at the age of 14, then came back to power, plunging England into civil war. Welcome to my channel. Today we'll meet a child king. His father, King John, has just died, and the young prince now rules over all of England, though he'll need a regent to stand in for him until he's old enough to rule. That duty falls on his uncle, William, who becomes both regent and protector of the realm. So far, so good. As William, the regent, took charge of ruling England, he also took charge of raising his nephew, grooming him to be the future king. In 1232, he took the throne, but the reality of power soon smacked him in the face. So he reached out to his former enemies, offering them a deal. If they agreed to end the rebellion and swear fealty to him, he would confirm or even expand their land holdings. Most of the nobles accepted his offer, but one, the Earl of Cornwall, refused. Stay tuned. War broke out again, but it only lasted a few months. Cornwall was defeated and died during a siege, and by 1234, peace returned to England. Henry was just 16 years old. The English nobles weren't happy with his rule, especially since he appointed his mother, Eleanor, as his chief advisor. They wanted more power for themselves and less power for the king and his mom. In 1236, he married Leonor of Castile and Leon, daughter of the King of Spain. But before they could consummate the marriage, she died. Devastated, Henry sent his counselors to find a new bride for him. One of those counselors was none other than Edmund Custis, a man who had been involved in the plot to depose him years ago. But Henry trusted him anyway, and Custis didn't let him down. He found a suitable bride for the king, Isabella of France, daughter of the French king. She arrived in England in 1242 and married Henry, who was now 22. Soon they were the talk of the kingdom, attending royal functions together and going undefeated in royal archery contests. They seemed destined to rule together happily ever after. So they launched a rebellion, forcing Henry and Eleanor to flee to Normandy. There they regrouped, raising an army with the help of French King Louis VIII. Then they marched back into England to take the throne back. But while William was a skilled administrator, he wasn't great at being a people's person. He was unpopular with the English nobility and couldn't get them to support the young king. He had confirmed the power of the English nobility and made them even more powerful by granting them even more land. While he ruled, he lacked true power and was little more than a figure. Now he needed to marry and produce heirs of his own, but many powerful men coveted the title king and would gladly trade places with him. So who could he trust? Soon, factional nobles began to scheme, seeking to control the young monarch and use him as a figurehead while they seized power. The year is 1216 and the King of England is a 9-month-old baby named Henry III. You see, King John was supposed to be the heir apparent of England, the older brother of the previous king, Richard the Lionheart. But while Richard was away on crusade, John rebelled against their mother, Eleanor of Aquitaine, seizing the throne for himself. When Richard returned, he promptly took John to court, forcing him to acknowledge Henry as heir. And when Richard died, the crown passed to John, who promptly went to war with France, losing the valuable territory of Normandy in the process. To regain his lost lands, John raised taxes on his people, which they strongly resisted. And when he tried to assert his authority over the English Church, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Stephen Langton, excommunicated him, declaring Henry the rightful heir. Now dead, John's barons forced him to sign the Magna Carta, limiting his power, and soon after, he was dead, likely from dysentery. But the story of how Henry III came to be king is a little more complicated than that. So as you can see, this little royal baby inherited a kingdom in crisis. By the time Henry turned 14, it was clear that he would need to rule in his own right. But while Henry was able to raise a powerful force, his nobles weren't keen on fighting a civil war. He had survived civil war, but at what cost? He decided to look across the channel. Henry and Isabella's story will continue in our next episode, including the birth of their first child and a royal pig assassination attempt. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next videos.